I thought I was alone on this when it came to Resident Evil being on Switch 2 and having the other games that was cloud ports, like RE2 Remake, RE3 Remake, I was gonna say RE4 Remake, but that was never a cloud port. I wonder why. I don't know if it's because it was secretly working already on a port for Switch 2, and maybe, I remember roughly when they did get the dev kits, I think for Switch 2, it was like roughly for them, I think 2023 or 2022. I think it was more 2023, so that's why we obviously got Street Fighter 6. But I think obviously around that time also Resident Evil 4 released, so it probably decided to work on a Switch 2 port. That's just pure speculation on my part, not anything that's been confirmed. It's just something I find interesting because of the time frames. But again, it would be a massive cool thing to see these Resident Evil games on the go, portable, and take it with you wherever you go and not be tethered to the internet all the time. Again, like, it was really jarring when they decided to do that decision. I'll be honest, they shouldn't bother in the first place, because I'm not a fan of cloud ports, never. And this is something I'm going to be criticizing in my other video, which is relating to a different franchise of a game, which you might know what I'm talking about if you're a Nintendo Switch 2 player. Nintendo Switch gamer, what? I don't know what I'm saying. But essentially, yeah, no one likes cloud ports, and the thing with cloud ports is that you have to be kind of, like I said, linked to the internet, and obviously you can't really take it on the go with you, or else you won't able to play the game, and no one really wants that. The problem is that no one really has that sort of, not everyone has like really good connection. Only, like, I would say, some people that do. I won't say everyone does, and it is something that is obviously essential in our day-to-day lives, but again, not every area is suited for high connection. So it would make more sense to have it native ports than something cloud ports where no one could actually play the game. I do feel bad whoever bought the game at, I don't know, those high prices, and then basically realized, oh wait, they're not native ports. Like, it's really annoying, and I really hope they get rid of them entirely. Now, when will these so-called Resident Evil 2 Switch 2 ports happen? I'm thinking probably whenever there's a next Nintendo Direct, because obviously that's probably when they'll want to announce it, so they can get a little bit more eyes on the idea of having those Switch 2 ports. Because I think that's what they did last time. They announced the cloud ports in a Direct, so the same thing would most likely happen for a Nintendo Switch 2 port. And I'm all down for it, because I've been waiting for Resident Evil or DMC to come to this Nintendo Switch 2, because I actually really would like that on the go with me. And yeah, I'm sorry for the noise if you're hearing like planes and stuff. They're always literally the worst. Like, they always fly whenever I'm recording. It's so frustrating. Anyway, let's just carry on. So yeah, maybe you can, and what resolutions there will be, and frame rates, I can roughly guess some of them, in my opinion. I feel like Resident Evil 2 Remake, well, I feel like all of them could at least all hit 1080p 60. That's where I'm going at, because it's not that, again, because the Switch 2 specs are pretty much like a PS4 Pro and up, it's not really troublesome to have those games on there. Now, I don't know if they'll have ray tracing and all that stuff. That is completely up in the air, but it would be still interesting to see these ports have some sort of ray tracing, or maybe some interesting little settings. And I doubt they would. It would be cool. I doubt they would actually have HDR, but it would be interesting. I know HDR can sometimes mess up when it comes to frame rates and stuff like that, and just running the game, so it can be a little bit tricky to get that running properly. Will they include DLSS? Most definitely, because pretty much all Switch 2 ports have some sort of DLSS included, mainly third-party games. You can see that definitely with third-party games. You can also say with first-party games or Switch 2 editions of games, but you can definitely see it when it comes to the third-party games a lot, and especially in Street Fighter 6. But granted, when I was developing Street Fighter 6, it was not for the Switch 2 in mind, and that's the thing that I think people need to consider. When these games are made, they are made specifically for the other two consoles, that being PlayStation and Xbox, and sometimes PC, whenever they want to actually do a proper good port of that, which is more on the rare side. So it is interesting where and when they'll do it, but it is definitely something they will do at some point, that I can assure you, because why wouldn't you want to put your game on a console that's selling like hotcakes right now? It would be a little bit strange if you didn't, and you would be missing out. But that's completely where I'm gonna leave it at with this video. It is something more of a short video, but there isn't too much to say. It's just some things I've noticed, and I really hope that hopefully they will be really good looking ports. And maybe, if there is a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct this week, we might get something along those lines. I really hope they do, and comment down below what you guys would hope for from a Nintendo Switch 2 port of Resident Evil games. Comment that down below, and you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, that way you stay notified for any Resident Evil content on the channel. And without further ado, peace out. And if you're still here, by the way, make sure to check out my Resident Evil 0 playthrough. It is kind of something I'm thinking of restarting, but on the higher difficulty, or the highest difficulty, because I really thought this game was a lot harder than I thought, but it's not really. So anyway, if you wanted to go and check that out, or check any of my Resident Evil videos, make sure to do so. Without further ado, peace out guys, and have a lovely day.